May 16, 2167. The world is basically on fire, and humanity is down to its last stand. Enter Si Chen, an SSS lightning assassin and our supposed last hope. He's seen better days. Leading the invasion is Demon King Lan Yu. He's definitely not here to negotiate a peace treaty. Lan Yu laughs in his face. To him, the entire human race is just high-grade trash waiting to be tossed out. He's ready to drain every drop of life essence out of our hero and add it to his collection. The monster wants to eat Si Chen's strength. Talk about a really bad way to go. But Si Chen isn't just going to lie there. He's got one last desperate card to play. He channels every ounce of energy he has left, fueled by absolute hatred for these demons. They took his sister, his master, and everyone he ever cared about. He's got nothing left to lose. If he's dying today, he's making sure the Demon King goes straight to hell with him. He triggers his SSS ultimate skill, Terminus Light. It's a literal explosion of pure willpower. Lan Yu finally realizes he messed up. He can't move, and the light is starting to burn. As his body breaks apart, Si Chen just wishes he had been a little bit stronger. Memories of his family and friends flash by in the blinding white light. He closes his eyes, ready to see them all again on the other side. The Demon King screams as the explosion consumes them both. It's finally over. His final wish was to go back, to a time before the monster dungeons ever appeared. Suddenly, the fire is gone. He wakes up gasping for air in a very different place. No battlefield. No blood. Just a quiet hospital bed and some morning sun. He's not dead. He's actually breathing, and his limbs are all still attached. This definitely isn't the human stronghold. It's way too peaceful to be a ruin. He checks outside and sees people just living normal lives. Not a demon in sight. He's stunned. The world was toast 5 minutes ago. Now it's just a sunny morning. It takes a second for the truth to sink in. This isn't the afterlife, it's the past. He's actually regressed 10 whole years back to his university days. Talk about a reset. Then, a blue screen pops up out of nowhere, Power of Gluttony fusion complete. It's May 16, 2157. Precisely 10 years before the day he died. He realizes he has 3 years until the first major disaster strikes. In 2160, the first Demon King, Wrath, is scheduled to make his grand entrance. That's the monster who opens the gates of hell and kicks off the apocalypse. After him, the other Demon Kings showed up like a plague, one by one. Last time, that was the beginning of the end. He lost absolutely everything. But he's back. And this time, he's not just going to be another victim. This is his one chance to kill Wrath and keep those gates shut forever. But first, he needs to figure out what this Power of Gluttony screen is all about. It's been floating right in front of him since he opened his eyes. Very distracting. He decides to check his status and immediately gets a massive shock. It looks like a video game stat sheet, but the numbers are completely broken. He's level 1, but every single base stat is maxed out at 100. That's unheard of. In this world, only 1 in 10,000 people actually awaken any powers. He went to a school for the gifted, but back then, he was at the absolute bottom. For 4 years, he was everyone's favorite punching bag. Not this time. Si Chen is staring at a floating archive file. It's like his past life is haunting his current one. The screen shows the Lightning Assassin class. High speed, high mental stats, exactly what he used to be. He realizes his previous class title has somehow followed him back in time. He wonders if his late bloomer status has been overwritten by his veteran experience. The system begins a class change process. He's basically hacking reality at this point. The door clicks open, breaking his concentration. Someone's coming in. Meet Ma Long, an ear-rank flower chanter and Si Chen's roommate. He looks like a total nerd. Ma Long rushes in, relieved to see our hero finally awake after whatever happened yesterday. Si Chen quickly realizes that he's the only one who can see the glowing golden screen. Ma Long is losing his mind because Si Chen's injuries have completely vanished overnight. Si Chen looks at his old friend, remembering the bond they shared in his first life. It's emotional because Ma Long didn't survive the demon invasion last time. He was murdered on day 3. Seeing his friend alive makes the reality of his regression finally hit home. He's really back. But Ma Long is more worried about the ranking test scheduled for tomorrow. He starts dragging Si Chen out of the hospital, insisting they need to go prepare. As they walk, Si Chen keeps an eye on his insane stats. 100 in everything is just cheating. In this world, the government ranks everyone from S down to E based on their power level. Most students are stuck at E, while the lucky few reach D through talent or money. Si Chen is pretty confident he's going to be a lot higher than an E rank this time. Suddenly, a basketball comes flying out of nowhere and slams right into Ma Long's face. The poor guy hits the ground hard. That definitely wasn't an accident. A group of upper-rank students are chilling on the stairs, clearly looking for trouble. Their leader, Gongcheng, is a typical meathead bully who's way too proud of himself. Ma Long is terrified. He knows exactly who these guys are and how much they suck. Gongcheng laughs about the beating he gave them yesterday, showing zero remorse. He demands they go buy 2 cases of drinks, treating them like his personal errand boys. Terrified, Ma Long starts apologizing and offers to go do it right away. But Si Chen stands up to him. He gives the bullies a cold look that says their reign of terror is over. Si Chen stares down his past. These memories are finally coming back to him. In his past life, these thugs used to drown him in the sink just for a laugh. His only friend, Ma Long, could only watch in terror as they tormented them. The lead bully, Gongcheng, didn't care about the rules. He just wanted a show. He claimed he was just giving Si Chen a nudge to help him finally awaken. The rest of the gang just stood back and laughed at the pathetic scene. Once they got bored of their toy, they just left him there like trash. Ma Long rushed over to see if his friend was even still alive. Back then, Si Chen was helpless. He couldn't understand why they'd be so cruel. But now he knows better. Evil isn't just found in some distant demon realm. It's standing right in front of him, wearing a smirk and a tank top. Si Chen tells Ma Long it's not his fault. These jerks are the ones who should apologize. Gongcheng can't believe the school loser is actually talking back. Ma Long is absolutely panicking. He thinks his friend has finally lost it. The bully decides to show off his E-rank power as a flower warrior. But Si Chen just looks at him with those cold, red eyes. He's not impressed. Gongcheng only acts tough because his brother is the student council president. The crowd gathers, expecting to see Si Chen get sent to the hospital again. The bystanders jeer, calling them the most useless duo in the entire school. Gongcheng demands to know what he just said, his patience wearing thin. Si Chen doesn't flinch. He just tells the guy to leave them alone. Enraged, the bully winds up for a heavy hit, aiming to end this quickly. Then, the unthinkable happens. Si Chen blocks the massive fist with one hand. Gongcheng is stunned. His arm is in pain, and he can't believe what just happened. The crowd goes dead silent. They're all wondering how the unawakened kid did that. Si Chen looks bored. He's been through literal hell, this is nothing. Gongcheng starts screaming. He can't handle being embarrassed like this. Si Chen decides it's time to officially reclaim his power. Time for a class change. The system confirms it. Level 1 Lightning Assassin. His strength is doubled and speed tripled. Ma Long is having a total meltdown. He's never seen his friend like this. Lightning starts dancing across Si Chen's skin. The predator has finally arrived. Gongcheng goes all out, activating his immortal demon armor for defense. He screams about his killer jab, but he's already lost the fight. Si Chen is just a blur. He moves faster than any E-rank could ever hope to see. He lands a single punch that connects with the force of a high-speed train. Gongcheng gets launched across the courtyard like a ragdoll. Everyone's jaw just hit the floor. The school hierarchy just got shattered. Gongcheng coughs up blood, trying to claim he was just snuck while he was down. He yells at his lackeys for just standing there, but they aren't stupid. The lackey is sweating buckets. He knows he's looking at a literal monster. Si Chen stands there, glowing with a terrifying, divine-like aura. Gongcheng tries one last desperate lunge, screaming that he'll kill him. Gongcheng's desperate lunge is met with a cold reality, he's completely outclassed. Si Chen doesn't even blink. To him, this big-shot bully is just a minor annoyance. Several lightning-infused punches is all it takes to send the courtyard's king tumbling. Gongcheng's armor is useless as he's sent flying through the air like a literal ragdoll. The impact is so loud it probably woke up the neighbors 3 blocks away. The bully is left broken and bloodied against the wall. That's what happens when you poke a sleeping dragon. Everyone in the crowd wonders how Si-Chen got so strong. Based off those stats, he's roughed up some conclusions. He realizes he can jump back into his lightning assassin job whenever he wants. Even at level 1, a seasoned pro can handle these low-level awakened scrubs in their sleep. The system still hasn't assigned him an official rank, leaving his true potential a mystery. But as he looks at his fallen foe, a new problem starts to weigh on his mind. Despite the absolute beatdown he just handed out, his stats haven't budged an inch. Si-Chen looms over the unconscious Gongcheng, a lightning blade crackling in his hand. Ma Long and the other students can only watch in horror, wondering if he's actually going to kill him. The predator stares down at his prey. No mercy, just a cold calculation of value. He wonders if the only way to grow stronger in this world is to go back to his old, dark ways. Si-Chen is making sure the bully doesn't forget this lesson. A pair of legs walk up as a voice reminds him they're still on school grounds. Ling Yu, the student council vice president, thinks he's done enough. The vice president smiles, confident the message was received. Si-Chen tosses him aside like a piece of trash. He wonders why the elites are so eager to protect a guy like that. The protagonist walks off, leaving the crowd in shock. These guys are officially terrified of the person they used to mock. He tells Ma Long that it's time to head out. Ling Yu is left wondering how a loser became that scary. Night falls on the dorms as the day's drama settles. Ma Long is losing his mind trying to explain Si-Chen's new power. The roommates aren't buying the SSS rank assassin story. Xiangzhua, the room's E-rank flame mage, isn't impressed. He wonders why a god would go out for a late-night run. Zhua thinks true awakeners are above basic physical training. Xiang Yu is too busy with his games to care about the hype. The mage reminds them they're in the loser room for a reason. He flexes his E-rank power to remind them who's the top dog. He's convinced Si-Chen will always be a bottom-tier failure. Tomorrow's evaluation is supposed to put everyone back in their place. Across campus, the E-rank training den is finally closing. Gong Ting, the student council president, emerges covered in blood. The president is finished with his brutal training for the night. A bandaged Gong Cheng begs his big brother for revenge. Ting is annoyed but agrees to handle the humiliation. He has no patience for people who disrespect the Gong family. Later, the elite pair discusses academy politics over dinner. Ting doesn't believe a loser could actually be strong. Ling Yu notes they've already recruited all the top-tier talent. To her, mediocre students have no way to get stronger. While they feast, Si-Chen is out grinding in a massive storm. He's running 20 kilometers with a 100 kilograms load on his back. He knows a weak body can't handle the limit of a god-tier class. This is the foundation he needs to survive what's coming. He can still see the day the Demon King, Wrath, descended. He lost his sister that day, and he won't let history repeat itself. Wrath was the monster that opened the gates of hell for the rest. This time, his only goal is to change the ending. The Demon King has to fall by his hand. He has exactly 3 years to grow faster than the apocalypse. A vibration from his pocket breaks his intense focus. Si-Chen's sister, Si-Yun, is actually calling him back. The regressor picks up, his voice trembling as he hears her for the first time in years. She sounds so normal, complaining about her phone dying like nothing ever happened. Si-Yun even laughs about winning prize money to help pay off their back rent. Just hearing her voice again is enough to break his stoic mask. To her, it's just another Tuesday, but for him, this is the miracle he came back for. He wipes his eyes and gets back to the grind with a new fire in his soul. He pushes himself through 3 more laps, ignoring the burn in his lungs. It's only been 8 hours since he returned, and he's already making moves. A hot shower helps him adjust to a body that's way younger and way weaker than his old one. Now he has to tackle the biggest hurdle, how to actually find monsters to kill. The major guilds have a total monopoly on every dungeon in the city. Without a dungeon to raid, he's just a guy with a high rank and 0 ways to use it. Then there's the mystery of his SSS rank, Power of Gluttony. He drifts off to sleep, hoping the system doesn't wait until he's dead to give him answers. Well, his wish came true, as the glutton system finally decides to finish loading. He's suddenly pulled into a mental landscape, splashing down into a sea of blood. A jagged black tower looms over the horizon, surrounded by blood-red water. Si-Chen stands there in shock, wondering how his bedtime turned into a boss room. Si-Chen awakens in a literal hellscape, staring at a massive, jagged tower looming in the distance. The welcoming committee arrives immediately, a pack of E-rank gravehounds. Time to get to work. He initiates a class change to Lightning Assassin. Level 1 status confirmed. His stats are low, but his instincts are still maxed out. The hounds lunge. To them, he's just a snack. To him? Free EXP. He dashes through the pack, leaving a trail of lightning and monster blood. A clean kill. He harvests some fangs as the mobs turn into dust. It's a total massacre. These low-level monsters don't stand a chance against a regressor. The pain and the smell are too vivid. This definitely isn't just a dream. Ding! Si-Chen hits level 2. The grinding is already paying off. Every stat gets a nice boost. He can feel the power returning to his body. He realizes he's found a private training ground. It's time to power level. The big brother shows up, the giant, bone-masked Gravehound King. One decisive slash and the king is dead. Level 3 reached, plus some solid boss loot. Bosses really are the best for farming EXP. He's scaling faster than expected. A new system command appears over the corpse, Devourer. Now things are getting interesting. Si-Chen stares in shock. The system actually wants him to consume the boss. This is the power of gluttony. Waste not, want not. He reaches out, his hand glowing with a sinister red aura. A massive energy vortex erupts as he literally absorbs the monster's essence. Devouring complete. The boss is converted into a class card, Cloud Warrior. He holds the card, stunned. He can actually steal the classes of the enemies he kills. This changes everything. He's no longer bound by the world's basic rules. He recognizes this power. It once belonged to the Demon King Lan Yu. And now, that world-breaking ability is entirely his to command. Usually, you're stuck with one class. But Si-Chen just found a loophole. He checks his status, Lightning Assassin and Cloud Warrior. He's holding two classes at once. If he keeps devouring, he could potentially hold an infinite number of classes. He wonders why he was the one granted such a terrifying, godlike power. His thoughts are cut short by that creepy magic tower looming nearby. Suddenly, a massive rumble shakes the dimension. Something big is coming. An overwhelming pressure hits him. This is way beyond anything he's faced so far. A voice echoes from the shadows, telling him it's been waiting a long time. Meet the Abyssal Fiend, an S-rank nightmare armed with massive scythe blades. In a world ranked E to S, this guy is at the absolute peak. Si-Chen breaks a sweat. In his past life, S-rank power was terrifying. Now he's a measly D rank facing a boss that outclasses him in every stat. It doesn't make sense. Why is an S-rank boss hiding in a starter dungeon? Even weirder, the monster actually knows his name. They trade dozens of blows in seconds. The speed is absolutely blinding. Si-Chen is barely hanging on. The fiend has had plenty of chances to kill him. Si-Chen is face down in the red ocean, barely able to move while the boss toys with him. The Abyssal Fiend looms over, mockingly asking if he's done struggling yet. He realizes this monster isn't just trying to kill him, it wants him to submit. The boss makes an offer, become a guardian of the Tower of Darkness and stay by its side. Si-Chen's answer is a hard no. There's no way he's staying in this hellhole. Suddenly a deep gash appears on his shoulder, almost chopping his arm clean off. The fiend's patience is wearing thin. It only spared him because he actually made it this far. Ominous purple flames erupt from the skull scattered across the blood-red sea. The boss releases a massive wave of pressure. It's officially done playing nice. It gives him one last choice, stay and serve, or be crushed into absolute oblivion. Si-Chen's eyes crackle with gold lightning. He's already made his decision. He lunges forward with everything he has, screaming that he's here to kill. The Abyssal Fiend just laughs. A D rank trying to kill an S rank is peak comedy. But Si-Chen isn't just a D rank. He spent the last few trades analyzing every move. He spots the flaw, a tiny 0.4 second wind-up right before every single swing. He times it perfectly, dodging the massive blade by a hair's breadth. There's another opening, a 0.2-second recovery window right after the boss strikes. If he can hit that tiny gap, he might actually have a shot at surviving this. He activates Electro Blade, condensing all his lightning into a single, lethal point. A direct hit. The paralysis effect kicks in, freezing the S-rank boss for a few seconds. He follows up with Godspeed, boosting his movement speed tenfold to put some distance. He sprints toward a light in the distance, hoping it's the exit out of this nightmare. It's the only light source in this dimension. He just needs to reach it to escape. But in a blink, the light completely vanishes. It was all a lie. The boss's voice echoes, that wasn't an exit, it was just an afterimage left behind. A massive, shadowy presence erupts. The boss is impressed he found a flaw so fast. It praises his ability to stay calm and risk his life even under the weight of despair. The true form is revealed, Abyssal Fiend, the S-rank Star Warrior. Si Chen's heart drops. He's seen this horrific form before in his past life. This is a direct subordinate of the Demon King Lan Yu. He's in way over his head. In his past life, Si Chen's final stand was against the terrifying Demon King Lan Yu. Lan Yu was a freak of nature, swapping between top-tier classes like it was nothing. Every strike was a life-or-death gamble against a monster with infinite tricks. One of his deadliest forms was this green, multi-limbed nightmare. Si Chen remembers the overwhelming pressure of that final encounter. But looking at the entity before him, something finally clicks. It's the Abyssal Fiend, one of the very forms Lan Yu used in the past. This monster was once devoured by Lan Yu's power of gluttony. And now, that exact same power has merged with Si Chen's own body. He realizes this entire bloody dimension is actually a space inside him. A massive, jagged tower looms over the horizon, reflecting in the crimson sea. The Abyssal Fiend is impressed, he's got the brains to match his potential. The entity confirms it, every single power sealed here is his for the taking. It hands him an SSS rank time rift key, the only way into the tower. This is where Lan Yu locked away the most vicious demons he ever devoured. The mission is simple, consume them all and turn their strength into your own. Si Chen is skeptical. Why would a high-ranking demon help a human? Revenge. The Demon King slaughtered the entity's entire clan out of greed. It's been waiting for this chance, and Si Chen is the only hope for vengeance. He mentions that guy, leaving Si Chen wondering who else is pulling the strings. But there's no time for questions, the answers are all locked inside that tower. The Abyssal Fiend begins to fade, offering up its remaining essence. Si Chen is stunned. To get stronger, he has to devour the entity itself. The command is clear, open the gates, go forth, and consume everything in sight. It warns him that the demons inside are far more vicious than he can imagine. To stand at the pinnacle of the world, he has to endure every bit of the pain. The final goal? Hunt down and devour every single demon king that exists. With its last breath, the entity declares Si Chen worthy of its ultimate power. A dark energy swirls around his hand as the devouring process activates. Victory! A massive experience surge pushes him all the way to level 10. Si Chen accepts the burden, vowing to carry the entity's will with him. He officially gains the Abyssal Fiend class, a high-tier Star Warrior rank. Morning light filters through the window, signaling his return to the dorms. Si Chen's eyes snap open to the sounds of his roommates waking up. He sits up, half expecting to still be in that bloody dimension. The guys are already rushing to get ready for the big uniform day. He checks his body, not a single scratch remains. His wounds are totally healed. It wasn't just a dream, his system interface shows a full inventory of rare loot. Level 10 in a single night. At this rate, he'll be off the charts in no time. His roommate, Xiangzhua, walks over with his usual arrogant smirk. He's heard the talk and wants to make sure Si Chen knows who's still the top dog. The rank assessments are starting, and Si Chen is ready to reveal his true power. Xiangzhua is busy flexing his mid-tier E rank, acting like he's the king of the dorm. In this school, the power gap between tiers is massive, and most students peak at D rank. He's so full of himself that he thinks he could handle 10 low-tier E ranks at once. Ma Long tells Si Chen to go all out and aim for that D rank to shut people up. Si Chen just stares ahead, wondering if he could really hit D rank. The campus is buzzing with excitement as everyone heads to the assessment grounds. It's finally time for the National Awakener University's ranking assessment ceremony. Suddenly, the crowd splits as Gong Cheng's goons come charging through like they own the place. These guys are notorious for being absolute menaces to anyone who gets in their way. Xiangzhua is ready to bolt, but then he notices the goons are staring straight at them. In a shocking twist, the bullies drop to a deep bow, greeting Si Chen with total respect. Xiangzhua is stunned. Maybe Ma Long wasn't lying about Si Chen being a hidden beast after all. But the peace doesn't last long before another big shot decides to crash the party. Enter Chang Di, a flashy student council officer with a very punchable face. He's the personal lapdog for the council president, Gong Ting, and loves to show off. The surrounding students start whispering in fear the moment they see him approach. Not only is he a lapdog, but he's a D-ranker, one of the strongest on campus. Chang Di leans in close, claiming he has a special talent for sniffing out real powerhouses. But he just scoffs, telling Si Chen that all he smells is the stench of a pathetic loser. Si Chen asks if he's a dog. Savage way to start a conversation. Chang Di is about to lose his mind from the insult. Gong Ting steps in to break it up before things get messy. The president already did the homework and knows who's really at fault. Case closed. Chang Di walks away like a good little boy. The assessment ceremony finally begins. The stakes couldn't be higher. Chang Di still thinks Si Chen is a nobody who's not even a threat. The whole school gathers to watch the future of humanity get graded. High above the arena, Headmaster Yuan Long is hosting a special guest. Ling Yu isn't just here for the show. She's looking for something specific. First up is Xiangzhua. The crowd is ready to see some fireworks. He's feeling confident, ready to show everyone what he's made of. He steps into the artificial dungeon where the real test happens. Inside lies the magical core, a pulsating heart that eats energy for breakfast. Time to let loose. He charges up his best shot for the core. A massive blast connects, but the core just takes it like a champ. The core processes the hit and sends the data straight to the monitors. The results are in. Just an E rank. Not exactly a showstopper. Recording complete. A pretty average start to the day. But that's just the warm-up. The main event is coming next. They're measuring potential, the ceiling for how strong you can actually get. This is what the government actually looks for when picking winners. E-rank mid-tier with C-rank potential. Talk about a reality check. 2 years of training for a mid-tier result. That's gotta hurt. The line keeps moving. Next victim, step right up. The students are busy comforting each other. Misery loves company. Someone actually hit D-rank, and they're celebrating like they won the lottery. The first D-rank promotion of the day sets a new bar for the class. Sometime later, Chang Di hits D-rank with A-rank potential. Not bad. 8 D-rank so far. This year's batch is surprisingly talented. Even the scientists are impressed. This usually only happens for a few kids. But now, the heavy hitter is finally stepping onto the stage. It's Gong Ting's turn, and the atmosphere completely shifts. The chosen one and heir to the Imperial Guild. High expectations today. He's already the highest-ranked student in the school's history. He stands before the core, looking like this is just another Tuesday. Gong Ting's actually holding back, saving his real strength for graduation. Even with a handicap, his energy output is on another level. Boom. S-rank potential. The crowd is absolutely losing their minds. Chang Di is officially the biggest fanboy in the stadium right now. They just witnessed history. While everyone screams, Si Chen just watches. The faculty is stunned. This news is going straight to the higher-ups. An S-rank potential is basically a national treasure. The government is going to be all over that. Gong Ting officially hits the jackpot with S-rank potential. The Imperial Guild heir just set a new record. Headmaster Yuan Long, a seasoned veteran with a massive scar on his left eye, is loving the surge of talent. He assumes the mysterious Ling Yu is only there to witness the school's golden boy. But she isn't interested in a guaranteed genius. She didn't come for the president. Compared to the perfect heir, she's looking for something else. Her eyes are fixed on the kid in the crowd. She's way more curious about his results. It's finally time for the main event. Si Chen, step right up to the stage. Changdi gets right in Si Chen's face, mocking him for being a total loser. He laughs, warning them that their results better not be another pathetic E rank. The bully continues his rant, claiming they'll only humiliate themselves in the upcoming exam. Ma Long isn't taking it, shouting that Si Chen is going to make him eat those words. Ignoring the noise, Si Chen steps into the assessment chamber to begin his test. His roommates watch on with bated breath, wondering if he can actually pull this off. Inside the high-tech facility, a massive biological eye hangs suspended by wires. This is the magical core, a sentient machine designed to read an awakener's very soul. Si Chen's eyes glow red as he prepares to gauge his current power against this world's standards. For most students, this examination is their only ticket into the world of elite guilds. The graduation combat examination allows students to form their own 10-member teams. The winning squad gets a direct pass into the nation's most prestigious Imperial Guild. Outside, Changdi's team is already celebrating their newest D-rank recruit. They've gathered all the freshly promoted D-rank students to ensure they take first place. Everyone is sucking up to Gong Ting, calling him the undisputed MVP of their powerhouse team. Meanwhile, the weak students are left behind, ostracized by the school's natural law of survival. Ma Long checks his watch, nervous that Si Chen has been inside for way too long. The rank screen outside remains empty, showing absolutely no progress for the dorm of losers. Other students start heading out, convinced Si Chen is too weak to even register a rank. Changdi tells his crew not to bother waiting up for trash that's just wasting their time. Gong Ting agrees, leading the group away to celebrate their guaranteed graduation spot. Suddenly, the screen flickers to life. Si Chen registers as a high-tier D rank. His roommates stare at the board, completely frozen in a state of shock. Then the realization hits, and they start screaming with pure, unadulterated joy. Changdi's team stops in their tracks, unable to believe a loser just hit a high-tier D rank. Inside, the magical core pulses and thumps as it struggles to process the sudden power surge. Si Chen notes that his level 10 base form is roughly equivalent to a high-tier D rank. He decides to step things up and initiates a class change to test his limits. Activating the Gravehound King class, a bone mask forms over his face as his stats explode. The rank screen outside updates immediately, pushing his reading to a mid-tier C rank. The crowd goes absolutely feral. A C rank for a known loser is completely unheard of. Changdi is sweating buckets, desperately claiming that the machine must be malfunctioning. Even the professors are baffled, having never seen a student's rank jump like this before. The system starts throwing red alerts, detecting massive abnormalities in the magical core. Si Chen isn't done yet, sensing the assessment machine is barely holding on as it is. He decides to unleash the full extent of his power and switches to his strongest class, Abyssal Fiend. The biological eye of the core begins to pulse violently, dripping with sweat and fear. A dark, purple storm erupts within the chamber, shaking the entire facility to its foundation. Outside, the ground trembles as the roommates realize their dorm has produced a monster. The public rank screen starts glitching wildly, unable to stabilize a final reading. The head professor's jaw drops as he sees the potential rank flicker toward S rank. Before it can finalize, the system reaches its absolute limit and explodes into a critical error. The system hits its absolute limit, screaming that the potential value is just too big to calculate. Changdi looks like he's seen a ghost as the leaderboard glitches into oblivion. Boom! The whole chamber erupts as the testing machine finally gives up the ghost. The faculty comes running in, terrified that their expensive equipment just turned into scrap metal. They scramble through the smoke, praying that Si Chen didn't get turned into a pancake. But it's the magical core that's done for. The giant biological eye has shriveled into a raisin. Si Chen casually walks away from the fire while the professors lose their minds over the damage. He knows he broke the toy, but he's pretty happy with the parting gift he just took. Using gluttony, he devoured the core's essence to gain an A-rank passive ability. Standing in the wreckage, Si Chen prepares to test out his brand new toy. Delicate magical core, activate. His eyes flare with a cyan glow as the skill kicks in. Now everyone's rank is visible to him, exposing the sea of E-rankers in the crowd. He spots Gong Ting at C-rank high tier, realizing the president is holding back too. The head professor delivers the bad news: the magical core is officially dead. They cancel the rest of the day's tests, claiming Si Chen's data was just corrupted garbage. The roommates don't care about the glitches, they're already worshipping their new god. Changdi is fuming, convinced the machine only broke because Si Chen is such a loser. He gets right in his face, spitting everywhere while crying about his wasted time. Si Chen's hand starts crackling with energy, he's really not in the mood for this. He stares the bully down, contemplating if he should just delete this guy from existence. Just as things get spicy, Gong Ting intervenes and tells his lapdog to shut his mouth. Changdi is left speechless when the president calls the trash student a teammate. Gong Ting offers a hand, inviting the school's biggest loser to join his elite squad. He looks Si Chen in the eye, promising they'll set a score the world will never forget. Gong Ting makes his move, inviting Si Chen to join the top team in front of everyone. One of the teammates is sweating bullets, already worrying about who's getting the boot. Everyone's wondering why the school's golden boy is suddenly interested in a nobody. Gong Ting tries to be friendly, but the tension is thick enough to cut with a blade. The blue-haired teammate is barely holding it together, faking a smile while fuming inside. Si Chen doesn't even blink before dropping a cold, "not interested." The rejection hits like a truck, leaving the elites completely stunned. The teammate loses his mind, shouting about how they're the strongest team in school. Si Chen just tells him he's being too loud and shouldn't bother him again. The loudmouth is left fuming while Si Chen just calmly walks away. The rest of the students are losing their minds over the absolute disrespect. Si Chen doesn't care about the drama, he's got his eyes on the top prize. The crowd starts whispering, finding the whole situation hilariously awkward for the council. Gong Ting keeps his cool, claiming Si Chen just has his own way of doing things. From the sidelines, Yuan Long and Ling Yu watch the drama unfold. Ling Yu thinks the rejection just made things a whole lot more entertaining. She knows Gong Ting isn't used to being told no, and this is basically a war cry. The president isn't exactly the type to let a slight like this go unpunished. The teammate is still ranting, convinced Si Chen's rank was just a system error. But Gong Ting is locked in, refusing to let anyone threaten his #1 spot. The loudmouth decides he's going to handle things personally and teach the kid a lesson. Gong Ting plays the high road, asking if he really looks that petty. He bails on the team hangout, clearly not in the mood for games anymore. As he leaves, he gives a silent go-ahead, saying whatever happens next is on his teammate. That was all the permission the guy needed to start plotting. 10 minutes later, he gets word that Si Chen has finally left the campus. He finds out the target didn't even stop for a meal, making him an easy mark. He crushes a can, feeling like the universe is finally doing him a favor. Off campus, there are no rules to stop him from getting a little violent. Meanwhile, Si Chen is just chilling, completely oblivious, or so it seems. Flashback to the past life, a top guild entered a dungeon and triggered a nightmare. That's when the monster Wrath emerged, a beast stronger than anything they'd ever faced. The guild was annihilated, and Wrath began its descent upon the human world. To stop history from repeating, Si Chen knows he's going to need a massive fortune. He makes his way to the Mithril Monster Exchange to kickstart his plan. This place is destined to become the heart of the nation's resource trade. Inside, the shop is packed with high-tier weapons and top-of-the-line gear. Right now, this is the quickest way for Si Chen to turn his loot into cold hard cash. He tosses a handful of monster fangs onto the counter like they're pocket change. A snobbish appraiser with round glasses is baffled that a student has these. Si Chen just keeps it simple, telling him they were dropped by a monster. A polite trainee named Miss Lee recognizes them instantly as Gravehound fangs. The snobby appraiser, unnamed, explains how low-rank fangs are basically just useless craft supplies. He's a total elitist, claiming he only handles the premium stuff from the big leagues. All he cares about is hitting his quota so he can finally get that promotion to supervisor. He's already written Si Chen off as another broke brat bringing in useless junk. Unwilling to waste his precious time, he dumps the rest of the job on the trainee, Miss Lee. Miss Lee keeps it professional, handing over the cash and asking if there's anything else. It's only 18 grand, barely enough to cover rent, but it's a start for our boy. Then Si Chen reaches into his inventory and pulls out a massive, glowing purple greatsword. Miss Lee is completely starstruck by the sheer aura radiating off the blade. She's convinced this thing is at least B rank, maybe even an A rank masterpiece. The appraiser just laughs it off, thinking there's no way a student has something that rare. Suddenly, a mysterious man steps in, agreeing that it's definitely not an A or B rank. The appraiser starts groveling, thinking his boss is about to put this kid in his place. But the man drops a bombshell, this is a legendary S-rank artifact from the Abyssal Lands. The appraiser's soul practically leaves his body, he just passed off an S-rank deal to a trainee. The guild leader, Qingji, does a total 180 and greets Si-Chen like royalty. He rolls out the red carpet, personally escorting his new VIP to the private lounge. Si-Chen just smirks, getting the big boss to show his face was the plan all along. Meet Qingji, the leader of the Mithril Guild and the man Si-Chen just played like a fiddle. A cup of tea is poured to set the mood for a high-stakes meeting. Si-Chen sits across from the exchange manager, placing the massive abyssal netherbone on the table. He casually asks for 1 million, as if it's pocket change. Qingji can't believe his ears. Only 1 million for a treasure like this? He reminds him that S-rank gear fetches tens of millions on the open market. Si-Chen explains he just wants a loan with the sword as collateral. The manager realizes this isn't the kind of deal a normal student would ever suggest. He wonders if he's looking at a runaway rich kid or a hidden genius. Regardless, it's obvious Si-Chen is playing a much bigger game. Si-Chen offers to pay it back with 10% interest in just a month. Qingji senses something special and asks his assistant to give them some privacy. He correctly deduces that Si-Chen is a senior at the National Awakener University. The upcoming graduation exam prize is exactly 1 million, a perfect match for the loan. He realizes Si-Chen is betting everything on taking first place. Si-Chen remains silent, his expression giving nothing away. Qingji sees a desperate man making a risky move as a last resort. He smiles, having already decided to turn this into a long-term play. He counters with 1.5 million at zero interest, looking to build a bridge. He wants this to be the beginning of a very profitable friendship. He guarantees total secrecy and promises the best deals in the future. Si-Chen is impressed. This guy knows how to invest in potential. A handshake seals the deal. Building a network is just as important as raw power. The magic contract activates, pulsing with golden energy. The transfer is complete. 1.5 million just landed in Si-Chen's account. Since the sword is now collateral, Qingji offers to lend him some high-tier gear for the exam. They've got a solid stock of A and B rank equipment ready to go. Si-Chen just summons another S-rank blade from thin air. No need for leftovers. The staff can only watch in absolute shock as he casually shows off another treasure. He walks out like he didn't just break their brains. Qingji promotes the assistant on the spot for bringing in a gold mine. With cash in hand, it's time to head home. But first he buys one last thing from them. We transition to a taxi and heads toward the bus terminal. Arriving at the station, the memories of his past life start flooding back. In his previous timeline, life was a constant struggle for survival. Being an unawakened graduate meant he was basically bottom of the barrel. He spent his days racing against time, working a low-paying delivery job. Scraping together rent money was an uphill battle every single month. He and his sister Si-Yun were forced to live as frugally as possible just to stay afloat. Si-Yun had actually been accepted into a prestigious international art institute. But she hid the truth from him, tearing up her acceptance letter in secret. She chose to stay and help her brother rather than pursue her own dreams. Si-Chen is waiting at the bus terminal, thinking it's getting late for his sister. A voice rings out, "Garo," snapping him back to reality. Si-Yun is already lecturing him for waiting at the entrance instead of the exit. She's back with her luggage, already stressing about the rent being gone again. Si-Chen stares at her. To him, it's been 7 agonizing years since they last spoke. She snaps him out of his trance, asking for a hand with her heavy suitcase. Si-Yun waves a hand in front of his face, wondering why he's just standing there like a dummy. Without a word, Si-Chen pulls her into a tight, desperate hug. She's completely caught off guard. He's just thinking about how long it's been. A genuine smile finally reaches his face. He's actually seeing her again. Si-Yun starts flailing, complaining that he's literally choking the life out of her. She teases him, asking if he got dumped by some girl. They finally start the walk home. She chats away about her crazy exam trip while they head toward the neighborhood. Si-Chen looks at her with a soft gaze. This time, things are going to be different. Watching her laugh, he makes a silent vow, he won't let her suffer ever again. But back in the shadows of the alley, a group of thugs is lying in wait. They've tracked his route. The plan is simple, hide and jump him the moment he shows up. They are itching for some payback. The student council members are chilling, but even they're worried things might go too far. Changdi is fuming because some low-tier trash is acting way more cocky than they should. The goons promise to destroy their targets so badly he won't even make it to graduation. Changdi brags about being the best cloud assassin around while flexing his D-rank weapon. Meanwhile, Si Chen and his sister Si Yun are just trying to walk home in peace. Si Yun notices her big bro has been acting weird and asks if the exam is stressing him out. She knows he's usually a simpleton who doesn't let things get to him like this. She tells him to pull it together, quoting some cheesy line about life's long journey. Si Chen just starts singing a silly song to lighten the mood. It's working. He realizes Si Yun is sharp, but she still has no idea he's actually awakened now. He promises he's okay, but she's not buying his male pride act for a second. Si Yun teases him about getting old and building emotional walls. Brutal. Little do they know, a group of predators is watching them from the shadows. The goons report back to Changdi that their target isn't alone tonight. Changdi thinks it's a perfect spot for an ambush since there are no cameras. Si Chen catches a whiff of something foul in the air. He knows that smell. He spots the student council thugs and is surprised they have the nerve to show up. He reaches for his earbuds, acting like he hasn't noticed the threat yet. He gently takes one out to share his music with his sister. Time for a distraction. He tells Si Yun to listen to this track he's been playing on repeat. It's a vibe. She smiles, enjoying the melody and thinking about her brother's mental state. She hopes this helps her get to know him better. He just smiles back. Si Chen turns his head, his eyes glowing with a cold, lethal intensity. Changdi leads his gang into the light, flaunting their various ranks. Big mistake. Si Yun is completely lost in the music, eyes closed and peaceful. Oblivious. The goons charge in, thinking they've caught an easy target in an alleyway. Si Chen reflects on the 7 years it took to finally see his family again. He is absolutely livid that these thugs are trying to ruin this moment. He explodes with power, asking them how they dare come here and ruin things. He slams a goon's face into the pavement with a bone-shattering force. Ouch. While the music plays for his sister, Si Chen turns the alley into a total war zone. He moves like a blur, taking down multiple enemies in a literal heartbeat. A devastating kick sends another attacker soaring through the air. Effortless. A thug charges in for a punch. Si Chen grabs his arm and snaps his elbow. He then follows up with a massive shockwave of energy clears out the trash in one swift move. Changdi is absolutely stunned, his eyes wide with pure, unadulterated terror. He can't wrap his head around how a supposed weakling could be this strong. Si Chen winds up a massive punch, sending blood and teeth flying as he dismantles the rest of the fodder. He keeps the momentum going, his fist glowing with a terrifying energy as he targets the leader. A sickening crunch echoes through the alley as his fist connects right with Changdi's face. The force is so great it knocks his teeth out. From the perspective of the fallen thugs, Si Chen looks like a literal demon rising from the shadows. He stands over the bloody mess, reminding them that he clearly told them never to bother him again. With eyes glowing red with cold fury, he asks if there was any part of that warning they didn't understand. Changdi lies broken on the ground, finally realizing that Si Chen's rank wasn't a bluff. He's completely terrified. Si Chen holds a blade to his throat, telling him to shut up if he wants to stay alive. The game is over. Seeing the cold look in Si Chen's eyes, the thug realizes this isn't a joke. He's looking at a real killer. Standing amidst the fallen thugs, Si Chen radiates a killing intent that feels way too heavy for just a student. He leans in close, making sure they remember every single word he's about to say. This is their only warning. He tells them they can rot for all he cares, but if they try to touch his sister again, they're finished for good. If they even show their faces near her, he promises to make them disappear one by one. No second chances. His eyes glow red with a chilling threat, demanding a clear answer. Do they get it, or not? Terrified and bloody, the thug can only nod in desperate agreement, praying for Si Chen to leave. Dropping the knife, Si Chen walks away, leaving the trash to rot in the alleyway. Message received. Si Yun is crying while listening to music, really feeling the song. She's startled when her brother suddenly appears, calling out to him through her tears. He keeps his bloody fist behind his back, simply handing her a small, red gift box with a tired look. With a soft smile, he tells her he picked up something special just for her. Her eyes light up as she opens it. It's a high-end magic holographic pen from a top-tier brand. She immediately panics about the cost, demanding to know where he got 10 grand for a pen. She's suspicious. She suggests returning it, but Si Chen is haunted by memories of failing to protect her in his past life. He hides his bloody fist behind his back, vowing to protect her dreams this time around, no matter what. As the thugs are left broken in the alleyway, Si Chen commits to protecting everything about her life. Back at home, Si Yun's face lights up as the pen creates a glowing holographic fish that swims through the air. Pure magic. Over a bowl of fried egg noodles, the tension finally breaks as they share a peaceful, quiet moment. She brings up the rent, clearly stressed about how they're going to keep a roof over their heads. He casually drops the news that the entire year's rent has already been paid in full. Problem solved. He lies through his teeth about a business venture with a friend, trying his best to act natural. She isn't buying it for a second, calling him out for being a total SUS lord and a terrible liar. She knows he's hiding something big, but she can see the new light in his eyes. He's different. Seeing him smile for the first time in ages is enough for her to let the suspicious stuff slide. She tells him to stay safe and not push himself too hard, no matter what happens in the future. He gives her a reassuring look, promising to handle everything. He's got this under control. Transitioning to a high-end aquarium, news breaks about Chang Di's critical injuries and fractures. Gong Ting gazes at the fish, hearing that even the top doctors won't be healing his subordinate anytime soon. He finds it hard to believe someone like Si Chen could cause this much damage. It's a wake-up call. Ling Yu notes that with those injuries, Chang Di will definitely miss the upcoming graduation exam. Gong Ting doesn't care, dismissing the fallen thug as a deadweight his team is better off without anyway. Gong Xian, the director of career services, steps in with some serious news about the internal results. He confirms that the rumors were true. Si Chen has officially reached C rank after the assessment. The director points out the harsh truth: Si Chen is now the only student in school ranked higher than Gong Ting. Gong Ting's expression hardens as his pride takes a massive hit. The top spot isn't his anymore. The director warns him that his father has invited big shots to personally watch his performance. No pressure. They discuss a contingency plan, ensuring that Gong Ting stays in the spotlight no matter what. Gong Xian turns to his niece, Ling Yu, asking her to fill the vacancy left on Gong Ting's team. Gong Ting tells him he's overthinking it, confident he can handle whatever comes next in the exam. Gong Ting scoffs, claiming he didn't even use his full power during the ranking assessment. He's definitely hiding something. As he watches the shark devour its prey, he vows to make everyone see the truth on the day of the exam. He's determined to prove once and for all who the strongest student really is. There can only be one king. Later that night at the university dorms, Si Chen hits the shower to wash off the day's grind. After a brutal 100-kilometer run with weights, he's finally solved his money issues and can focus on his real plan. His next objective is to secure the 1 million yuan prize money from the graduation exam and clear his debt. He has an agreement with Qing Ji, and since he'll need his help in the future, he's gotta keep his word. Back in bed, he realizes there's less than a month left to prepare for the biggest test of his life. To win it all, he knows he needs to squeeze in a couple more level-ups before the deadline. No time to waste. He initiates the glutton system, standing before a massive structure that looks like a pillar of pure darkness. His status reveals that even his weakest class, the Gravehound King, is already sitting at a solid C rank. Then there's the Abyssal Fiend, an S-rank powerhouse that he hasn't even begun to fully master. With his other two classes still being total mysteries, Si Chen knows he's sitting on massive untapped potential. He pulls out the SSS rank Time Rift key, the only way to unlock the gates of the Tower of Darkness. No more waiting. He decides to put his strength to the ultimate test and enters the rift today. He steps toward the swirling purple vortex, wondering what kind of nightmare is waiting for him inside. The energy consumes him as he crosses the threshold into the unknown realm. Time to go to work. Arriving on the other side, Si Chen is immediately hit by the place. Si Chen lands in the fallen star wastes, a cosmic landscape that's as beautiful as it is deadly. Immediately, he's slammed to the ground by an invisible force. The gravity here is insane, making even staying upright a struggle for Si Chen. The exit is gone. To leave, he has to kill this floor's boss. He's only at 30% strength. He needs to adapt, and fast. Out of the darkness, a B-rank phantom lion appears, looking for its next meal. Si-chan checks his stats, level 10 lightning assassin. It's showtime. The beast pounces, but he readies a blade of pure electricity. He ducks under the swipe, moving like a blur despite the crushing weight. His body feels like lead. He needs to end this fight immediately. He goes for the vital strike, but the system flashes a miss. Shocked, he realizes his timing is completely off in this gravity. The gravity is a nightmare for an assassin, he's lost his speed advantage. Meanwhile, this cosmic cat is moving like it's on a playground. The lion connects, pinning Si-chan down with overwhelming force. Speed isn't working. He switches classes to Purgatory Rakshasa. The Star Warrior class card reveals massive buffs to his strength and stamina. It's time to stop dodging and start crushing everything in his path. He hammers down on the beast with raw, unadulterated power. Si-chan stacks the class's gravity multiplier, pushing it to the absolute limit. With a 60 times power boost, he prepares a punch that can level anything. A massive pillar of energy erupts, pinning the lion to the floor. Super heavy mode activated, nothing survives an impact this heavy. The beast is pulverized, leaving only a bloody mess behind. Si-chan collapses in the center of the crater of his attack, gasping for air. Ding! Level up to 11. A well-earned boost after that near-death struggle. He notes that the stars on a class card represent a massive stat multiplier. Comparing his forms, the Rakshasa is clearly the superior heavy hitter. But even this power barely handled a single B-rank monster. He catches his breath, but a nagging feeling tells him he isn't safe yet. Wait, the system didn't give him the devourable mark. That's not good. The gate to the next floor is still sealed tight. The trial isn't over. A chill runs down his spine as he looks back up at the sky. A massive black void opens up right above him, pulsing with energy. Multiple sets of glowing eyes peer out from the darkness of the portal. The realization hits hard, the one he just killed was just a mob. A whole pack of phantom lions drops in. He used everything on just one. Before he can even move, they're all over him in a flurry of claws. Si-chan gets shredded, completely outnumbered and already exhausted. He understands why the gate guard told him good luck back then. The lions close in for the kill, their jaws wide and glowing. Covered in blood and gasping for air, Si-chan stares death in the face. Si-chan wakes up gasping, the phantom pain from his training feeling all too real. He clutches his chest, every muscle in his body screaming from the strain of his progress. There are no shortcuts to power, he's on the brutal, lonely road of purgatory. Transition to the team formation ceremony at the National Awakener University. Rumors are flying that the big shots from the Guild Alliance are here to watch the assessment. The rules have changed this year, and the pressure on the students is mounting. An official announces that every team now needs at least 5 members to participate, with one needing be high E rank or above. Rankings are blasted to everyone's wristbands, and the NBA draft officially begins. Everyone frantically checks their screens to find the strongest possible teammates. Myung-hoo nearly chokes when he pulls up the stats on Si-chan's profile. According to the official data, the former powerhouse is only a low E rank. He can't believe his eyes, how did someone like Si-chan drop this low? Other students remember him hitting C rank before. The confusion spreads quickly. The gossip starts immediately, everyone thinks the testing core finally snapped under the pressure. Si-chan stays silent as the rest of the class begins labeling him a deadweight. Laughter fills the auditorium as they mock his sudden and public downfall. Gong Ting stares at his uncle Gong Cheng, knowing that this is all his responsibility. From the stage, Gong Cheng watches the drama unfold with a twisted smile. He's ready to teach his disappointing nephew a brutal lesson in power. The teacher is urging everyone to form their teams as fast as possible. Students are practically throwing themselves at the student council president, begging for a spot on his elite team. From healers to literal errand dogs, people are willing to do anything just to ride his coattails to a passing grade. But the elite teams are picky. They only have one spot left, and the competition is cutthroat. Half an hour later, most of the hall has settled. Teams are officially locked in with a hum of their wristbands. High fives and cheers fill the room as everyone prepares for the upcoming graduation exam. Well, almost everyone. Ma Long is hit with a harsh reality. After asking around multiple times, absolutely nobody wants to join them. They're stuck at 4 people. At this rate, they won't even qualify to take the exam. Ma Long is baffled. He can't understand why a powerhouse like Si Chen is sitting at the very bottom of the rankings. Si Chen realizes they're being targeted. They need a 5-man squad, including a high-tier E rank, just to register. This exam is the only ticket to a real career, and getting a high team score is the only way to secure it. But there's a catch: more teammates mean more monsters. A larger team doesn't automatically mean an easier time. The social divide is brutal. Stronger students are avoiding anyone labeled as a low ranker like the plague. The bottom of the barrel list is out, and it's a disaster. Ma Long, Xiang Yu, and Si Chen are the lowest ranked in the school. Suddenly, a student from a better team calls out to Xiang Zhua, trying to pull him away from his roommates. The offer is simple: ditch the trash in the dorm or risk being disqualified entirely. Si Chen watches in silence as his team faces public humiliation. If they can't find a fifth, it's game over. The hierarchy is clear: low-tier E ranks are basically invisible to the mid-tier elites. Xiang Zhua isn't having it. He stands his ground, refusing to abandon his roommates for an easy win. The recruiters are stunned. They can't believe someone would choose loyalty over survival. Ma Long is on the verge of a breakdown. Almost everyone has a team now, and their options have vanished. Si Chen finally breaks his silence. His eyes glow with a chilling cyan energy as he looks toward the staff. He spots Director Gong Xian, a C-rank mid-tier who suspiciously shares a name with the student council president. Si Chen realizes the director tampered with his rank. They're trying to force him out of the exam entirely. But Si Chen isn't backing down. He's taking this exam, and he's done playing nice with these elites. He triggers a class change. Lightning crackles around him, drawing the attention of everyone in the hall. The faculty is caught off guard by the massive surge of energy coming from a supposed low-ranker. Students are freaking out. They have no idea what Si Chen is planning, but the pressure in the room is rising. At this university, students can initiate a 1v1 challenge at any time to prove their battle skills. It's a bold move. Si Chen is about to put his true power on full display for the entire school to see. He sets his sights on Gong Ting. He knows the golden boy won't be able to turn down a public challenge. Si Chen's plan is simple: defeat the top dog. If he wins, everyone will be scrambling to join his team. With his eyes burning gold, he prepares to shatter the school's social hierarchy in a single fight. Suddenly, a voice rings out through the hall, calling Si Chen's name and stopping him in his tracks. Si Chen looks back to see a mysterious figure standing at the entrance. The entire room goes dead silent. It's Ling Yu. She's achieved D rank in middle school and she just volunteered to be the 5th member of Si Chen's team. The hall erupts in shock. Lu Wei and the others can't believe their eyes: a top-tier beauty actually wants in. Gong Ting is floored. He can't believe his own cousin is siding with a group of outsiders. Rumors fly instantly. Ling Yu is a genius from another school, and her joining makes them a legitimate threat. Director Gong Xian is losing his mind. He can't let a genius exchange student ruin his plan to bury Si Chen. He tries to disqualify her on the spot, claiming she hasn't taken a rank assessment since transferring. Suddenly, the principal appears, his purple aura radiating power as he backs the director's decision. Gong Xian is shaking. He didn't expect the big boss himself to show up and ruin his power trip. The principal teleports in with a massive flex, questioning why an exchange student like Ling Yu is getting her hands dirty. Si Chen is actually impressed. He thought the principal was a standard soldier class, not a high-tier teleporter. The principal plays the fairness card, suggesting Ling Yu is way too overpowered for this little exam. Si Chen's eyes glow. He's scanning the room, but something isn't adding up. He can't see the ranks for either of them. These two are on a whole different level than anyone else here. Gong Xian starts sucking up immediately, claiming the school only stays prestigious because they follow the rules. Give me a break. The principal goes on a speech about cultivating the best of the best and giving talent a stage to shine. He reminds everyone that this exam is a decade-old tradition and the biggest turning point in a student's life. The vibe gets heavy. If students lose their shot over some circumstances, the school's reputation is toast. Gong Xian is internally panicking. He's wondering if the old man caught onto his rule-tampering scheme. Si Chen watches the drama unfold, wondering if this entire charade was just to give him a fighting chance. Gong Xian realizes he's reached his limit. Fighting the principal is a losing battle he doesn't want to pick. He looks at Gong Ting, thinking he's done enough. Leaving Si Chen with the school's losers should be an easy win. The director plays the hero, calling the team issues a department oversight, like he wasn't the one who caused it. The principal drops the hammer, every student gets a chance. Even teams with fewer than 5 members can now enter. The roommates go wild. They're officially in the game, and they're already crowning Si Chen as their captain. The principal notes Ling Yu's intense interest in Si Chen. Something tells me she knows he's hiding something huge. It's a showdown for the ages. On one side, the strongest elite team ever. On the other, the bottom-ranked outsiders. The principal smiles. He's genuinely curious about how many points these two very different teams will score. The staff member announces that captains can now pick their dungeon. This is where things get real. Before the staff can even blink, Si Chen's selection is already locked in. The man didn't hesitate for a second. The roommates are screaming. Whatever Si Chen just picked, it's clearly a suicide mission in their eyes. Si Chen stays cold. He just picked the most difficult dungeon available, and there's no turning back now. The graduation battle exam is the real deal, the first time these kids are stepping into a real dungeon as a team. It's pretty simple: kill mobs, take down monster lords, and rack up those credits. Scoring is based on clearing the dungeon, slaying the boss, and how fast you can get it all done. Different dungeon ranks mean different multipliers. F rank gets a 1.5x bonus, but E rank bumps it to 2. If you want that max score of 100 points, you've got to step up to the E rank challenge. The reward? An offer from the legendary Imperial Guild for the team with the highest score. Plus, the class MVP gets a direct management gig and a sweet 1 million yuan prize. Students are already sweating it. E rank is tough, and the record of 90 points belongs to the Imperial Guild's leader. But then, the system updates. Si Chen actually chose a D rank dungeon. The whole room goes quiet. No one has ever beaten a D rank before, they think he's lost his mind. Ma Long is losing it, while Si Chen just stands there looking completely unbothered. The other teammate is literally in tears. How did he end up with a psycho like this? The notification pops up for the D rank dungeon. Ma Long is already wondering if it's too late to quit. Ma Long is begging for mercy. A D rank is basically a death sentence for students. Si Chen's response? A simple MHM. He's thought this through and isn't backing down. Submission sent. There's no turning back now. But he's not the only one. Team Gong Ting has also submitted for a D rank dungeon. The crowd is losing it. 2 teams going for D rank? This year is going to be insane. Gong Ting looks calm, watching the chaos unfold from the lounge. His teammate Qing Ji is just laughing. She thinks these other guys are just trying to act tough. To them, Si Chen's team is a joke that's going to fall apart before they even step inside. Ma Long looks at his captain, trying to find a reason why he's so confident. He notices something different. Si Chen has a powerful aura now, he's not the kid who used to lean on everyone else. That's all it takes. Ma Long hits confirm. He's sticking with his friend until the very end. The long-haired teammate doesn't want to be the last one left out, so he caves in too. He tries to act like he's still the top dog, even if he's the last one to join the party. He screams for everyone to hear, they're going balls to the wall for this graduation. Team Si Chen is officially locked in for the D rank dungeon. Si Chen apologizes to his team. He chose this level specifically to secure the MVP title. He flashes a rare smile and tells them to aim for the top score together. But across the room, Gong Ting has his eyes on the prize. He's not letting that MVP title go easily. He's determined to prove he's the strongest student in the entire school. Even Headmaster Yuan Long is impressed. The youth today are definitely fearless. Qing Ji still isn't buying it. Soloing a D rank is impossible, even for a C rank hunter. D rank has a massive 3x multiplier, maxing out at 150 points. It's high risk, high reward. As Si Chen and his team walk away, the pressure of their choice starts to settle in. Yuan Long notes there's only a month left until the exam begins. While everyone else is in the simulation rooms training their elemental powers. The headmaster just hopes Si Chen's team can put on a decent performance when the time comes. Fast forward to 17 days before the exam, and things aren't looking very magical. Ma Long and the others are collapsed on the pavement, gasping for air. Instead of combat sims, Si-Chen has them doing shuttle runs and dodgeball. Talk about a weird training arc. Si-Chen keeps it real. No matter how much you practice in a simulation, it's still just a video game compared to the real thing. Once you step into a real dungeon, that fear of the unknown is going to hit you like a truck. You won't have time to think about theories. When a monster is in your face, it's your survival instinct that decides if you live or die. That's why he's putting Ma Long and the others through hell. They need the reaction speed to move without thinking. School simulations are basically useless. True battle experience can only be earned by actually entering a dungeon and drawing blood. But regular people don't just get to walk into dungeons whenever they want. That kind of privilege is reserved for the elite. The big guilds hoard all the resources just to make sure they stay in power while everyone else stays at the bottom. These people were born into power, starting their journey with what most hunters spend their entire lives trying to find. The teammate is starting to feel the weight of it all. What can a bunch of nobodies like them even do to change the system? Simple, they win. This graduation exam is their one chance to smash through the social barrier and reach the Imperial Guild. It's the ultimate underdog story. If they can pull this off, they won't just graduate, they'll finally surpass the elites. Si-Chen is more determined than ever. This is his best shot to climb the ranks and leave the old world behind. He's making a vow to his team. He will do whatever it takes to fulfill his promise. They are going to win, period. 15 days left. The clock is ticking for the biggest exam of their lives. Si-Chen hits the Starfell wastelands, grinding monsters while everyone else sleeps. No pain, no gain. Every hit he takes is just another step toward power. He's not just training, he's becoming a weapon. Blood, sweat, and lightning. 10 days to go. The tension is starting to ramp up at the academy. While Si-Chen is out hunting, the others are struggling with basic laps. Shadow beasts and monsters? Just another day at the office for our boy. Even the elite students like Dong Ting are pushing their limits. 5 days remaining. We're in the home stretch now. No time to slack. Si-Chen is literally carrying the weight of his future on his back. 100 reps, no excuses. 3 days out. The entire school is on edge as the final countdown begins. The competition is looking dangerous. Some students are clearly ready to kill. 2 days left. It's the calm before the absolute storm. Level up. Si-Chen hits level 16 as a lightning assassin. He's locked in. Just 1 day left. Everything has led to this moment. No more training. It's time to see if all that blood was worth it. June 17, 2157. The graduation battle examination is finally here. A little drone pops up to welcome the examinees. This is gonna be brutal. Si-Chen and Lu Wei are ready. No nerves, just pure focus. The gates flare with energy. The exam has officially begun. Over at the admin building, some real heavy hitters are rolling up. The principal greets Chairman Gong. These aren't your average spectators. Meet Gong Lin, the big boss of the Imperial Guild. He's kind of a big deal. The students are losing it. It's not every day a legend visits your school. But wait, there's another car. Someone even more important is here. Vice Chairman Carl Cavendish. The Global Guild Federation is in the house. The crowd is losing their minds. This exam just became a global stage. Seeing these legends in person is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Getting noticed by the Federation? That's the golden ticket to the top. The VIPs head inside. The live stream is about to go live for the world. 184 students split into 28 teams. It's time for the bloodbath to begin. Teams are spread across various dungeons, from safe F ranks to risky D ranks. Secretary General Sigrid isn't easily impressed. She's watching everything. She's worried. D-rank dungeons are dangerous even for the pros. The principal explains that most kids are just E-rank. F-rank is their limit. In the F-rank zones, it's business as usual. Easy mobs for easy points. But even an F-rank monster lord can turn a newbie into a snack. Then there's the E-rank dungeon. It's a whole different level of pain. Stag spiders. These things are basically bosses in their own right. This random and his team are already regretting their life choices. This is a nightmare. For most, an E-rank dungeon is an impossible mission. Good luck, kids. Sigrid is all about safety first. What happens if a student gets into a mess they can't handle? The principal is cool as a cucumber. He claims the students are their top priority. Sure thing, buddy. Armed guards from the Imperial Guild are at every exit. If things get too spicy, they step in immediately. Every student has a wristband with a built-in panic button. One press, and you're out of there. This guy is already screaming for an exit before the monsters can even finish him. Instant teleportation. 1 second you're monster food, the next you're back in the safety of the academy. Sigrid is impressed. 2 teams were actually crazy enough to pick the high-risk D-rank dungeon. The principal just wants to see the show. He's taking bets on how many minutes they'll actually last. Welcome to the D-rank Cloudwood Summit. It's freezing, dangerous, and definitely not for rookies. This is where the real challenge starts. The air is cold, but the threats hiding inside are even colder. Enter the Wraithwing Monkey. Fast as hell and looks like something straight out of a nightmare. Si-Chen knows the deal. These things are aerial specialists. One wrong move and it's game over. Here they come. A swarm of monkeys diving from the ceiling at insane speeds. Si-Chen locks in. He's been through way worse than a few overgrown monkeys. The monkeys strike fast, but the team actually manages to keep their heads on their shoulders. Wait, I'm still alive? The teammates are genuinely surprised they didn't just get turned into paste. Then they look over at Si-Chen. Dude just soloed 3 D-ranks like it was a light warm-up exercise. Si-Chen tells his team they're too weak and orders them to stay back. He charges in alone, unleashing a devastating lightning blast. The teammates barely dodges as the monster horde closes in. Xiangzuo realizes Si-Chen was training them for defense, not for help. He's annoyed that as the former dorm boss, he's being carried. But witnessing Si-Chen's raw power, he knows he's outclassed. The protagonist is a blur of lightning, shredding everything in his path. Xiangzuo admits he didn't believe the rumors until now. Si-Chen's speed and precision are beyond anything a student should have. He's a one-man army, tearing through the mob with ease. Feeling the massive gap in their strength, Xiangzuo feels left behind. A monster strikes from the shadows, catching them off guard. Xiangzuo tells the guys they can't just sit around and watch Si-Chen fight. The teammates are shocked but inspired by the sudden call to action. Xiangzuo yells that this is their graduation assessment, too. Xiangzuo steps up, ready to finally contribute to the fight. He uses his vine lock skill to trap a monster mid-air. Massive vines snake out, successfully snaring the beast. The bat monkey screeches as it struggles against its wooden cage. Xiangzuo panics when the monster starts tearing through the vines. Ma Long steps in, using frost breeze to keep the creature pinned. He freezes it solid and calls for a synchronized follow-up. Their combo skill works, locking the monster in an icy trap. Xiangzuo gathers his mana, preparing a massive fire attack. He fires his burst flame bullet directly at the trapped monkey. A massive explosion erupts as the fire connects with the target. The monster screeches in agony. Xiangzuo is stunned that the tanky beast is still trying to fight. Ma Long and Xiang Yu are at their limits, struggling to hold on. Ma Long screams that he can't hold the lock for much longer. Xiangzuo bets everything on one final, massive fire blast. He unleashes a converged burst flame bullet, obliterating the monster. A system drone confirms the D-rank ghost bat monkey is dead. The group collapses, thrilled they actually managed to take one down. Si-Chen watches from the shadows, quietly evaluating his team. The boys celebrate their first real victory while the loot drops. Xiangzuo brags it was easy, despite being completely exhausted. Si-Chen walks over and gives them a rare, good job. Back in the observation room, the examiner is in total disbelief. He can't wrap his head around trash students killing a D-rank mob. High-ranking observers note that Si-Chen's performance is exceptional. Si-Chen stares into the distance, his eyes glowing with hidden power. A high-ranking official watches the feed, noting that the kid looks exactly like an old acquaintance. The mystery deepens. In the observation room, the pink-haired examiner finally recognizes the name Si-Chen. The Gong family is annoyed Si-Chen is getting so much recognition. A mustached official laughs, calling for everyone to pay attention to the screen. Meanwhile, other teams are already tearing through their D-rank dungeons. One of the observers notes how flawless their coordination is. The examiner is impressed by the talent in this year's graduating class. But for the man with the blue mustache, the real show is just beginning. Over in the Gloomvine Grotto, a swarm of noxious toadstools charges. A flower chanter strikes up a withering hymn, debuffing the monsters instantly. Her teammate claps his hands to gather the weakened enemies together. A star mage follows up by blasting them with an astral fusion. A flame soldier finishes them off with a massive searing fracture. Leading the squad is Gong Ting, a top-tier C-rank flame soldier. His team is breezing through, treating the dungeon like a warm-up. They joke about how much easier life is when you have the right connections. They're confident they'll be the champions in no time. Transition to Si Chen's team pushing through a heavy blizzard at high altitude. They finally reach the peak, home to the Frostwraith ape. The massive beast is busy tearing into its prey. Xiangzhua and Ma Long are absolutely terrified by the sight of it. The monster lord turns its glowing red eyes toward the intruders. Ma Long panics as the giant ape prepares to charge. The beast roars and lunges forward with overwhelming speed. But Si Chen meets the charge with a devastating lightning kick. He rockets past the monster as it flies through the air. In a flash, the ape is shredded into pieces by his sheer power. The teammates can't believe he just killed it that easily. Si Chen remains calm as the loot notifications start popping up. He's not happy, the experience and loot are surprisingly low for a boss. He senses something is off as his eyes narrow. The other two find a massive stash of mana crystals in a hollow tree. They're mid-tier crystals, and there's a huge pile of them. The guys are already dreaming of being set for life with all this loot. Si Chen realizes it's too good to be true and tries to warn them. Suddenly, the crystals glow, it's a massive trap. A blast of freezing energy erupts before anyone can react. It's a high-level cloud mage spell, Arctic Nova. The entire area is flash-frozen, leaving Si Chen and his team trapped. Back in the control room, Si Chen's feed suddenly cuts to no signal. The mustached official smirks, praising the intelligence of the monsters. He acts concerned, suggesting the rescue team might need to step in. But the principal decides to give them a little more time. Yuan Long points out that the students' vital signs are still stable despite the visual blackout. He insists that if they haven't tapped out yet, the exam should continue as planned. On the peak, Ma Long is barely hanging on, thankful his own class gives him some cold resistance. Suddenly, a massive, chilling presence looms over the shivering boy. The frostbound Lich King reveals itself, the true, terrifying lord of the dungeon. Ma Long recognizes the nightmare right out of a monster manual. A frostbound Lich King, a sadistic C-rank lord that loves playing with its food. Ma Long knows he's cooked. There's no way he can take this thing, he has to release Si Chen. He tries to scramble away, but he's not fast enough. An ice spike skewers him right through the leg. That's gotta hurt. The Lich King just laughs while the poor guy collapses in the snow. System warnings pop up everywhere. Critical damage. The exam is basically over. But Ma Long isn't quitting. He needs to thaw out Si Chen before it's too late. He activates Perfect Origin, desperately trying to melt the ice. Another spike connects. Ma Long is being turned into a human pin cushion. Purification failed. He hits the ground, hard. The Skeleton King is absolutely loving the show. To him, this is just comedy. The monster summons more skewers to finish the job. The system offers him an out. One click and he's safe, but he loses everything. He thinks back to a life of being the weak kid everyone stepped on. Overlooked. Ridiculed. Just a side character in his own life. But this time, he's got a chance to actually change his fate. Ma Long locks in. Giving up isn't an option anymore. He channels every last drop of mana into one final Perfect Origin. The Lich King sends a wave of ice to crush him, but he doesn't blink. He screams, pouring his soul into the light hitting Si Chen's frozen prison. Inside the ice, Si Chen's eyes snap open. It's go time. Godspeed activates, the ice prison doesn't stand a chance. The Lich King's jaw drops as Si Chen shatters the frost like glass. A golden blur sweeps across the field, and he sets down Ma Long. Ma Long smiles. He actually did it. He helped the boss break free. Si Chen looks down at his injured teammate. The vibe just got real dark. Ma Long warns him to stay back, this monster is on a different level. Si Chen doesn't flinch. He's already seen everything he needs to see. The Lich King isn't happy about the jailbreak. He charges up a Giga Frost Nova. The Skeleton Lord laughs as he unleashes the massive spell. He thinks it's over. Ma Long panics. A spell this big is impossible to dodge. The entire area is swallowed by a dome of pure frost. Total obliteration. The landscape is transformed into a frozen wasteland. Not a soul left in sight. The Lich King cackles, celebrating a job well done. Or so he thinks. Suddenly, the monster stops laughing. He spots something moving in the mist. Si Chen walks out of the blast like it was a light breeze. Level 16 Gravehound King. Immune to all cold temperatures. The boss is losing his mind. How did a human survive his ultimate move? Ma Long is even more confused. Assassins shouldn't have this kind of defense. Then it clicks. Si Chen isn't just an assassin. He's a one-in-a-million talent. He thinks he's a dual-class awakener. This guy is literally breaking the rules of the world. Si Chen apologizes for the wait and triggers another class change. The Abyssal Fiend has arrived. The playtime is over. Si Chen clenches his fist, ready to show this Lich what a real monster looks like. Class change complete. Level 16 Abyssal Fiend. Si Chen whips out a massive blade to end this right now.